Hello, vinyl communities, vinyl lovers. We have a special guest today. Dylan talks movies.
Hello.
Dylan Daly, my son.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Glad to have you. And we're doing a P Part 2. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. One of the greatest selling albums of all time. Dylan just purchased, a 180 gram version of the 2016 release on vinyl, right?
Yeah, I purchased it right over at Newberry Comics in Westchester Mall in White Plains, New York.
Can you put a link for them down below?
Yeah.
Put a link for Newberry. That'd be a nice shout out.
Really fun, really cool place. Lots and lots of vinyls. Really cool. I highly recommend. You want to pick up some good vinyls? They have about everything there. I really recommend it. It's really
one of our favorite stores. So 1973, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, engineered by...
Wait, I got it. It is... let's give me a hint. Alan Parsons.
The Alan Parsons Project.
Yes, the Alan Parsons Project.
Correct. And we have our Beatles poster back of us here, Abbey Road. Back of us, it was recorded at Abbey Road, one of the great albums recorded at Abbey Road, as well as Let It Be and the Abbey Road album, of course.
Yeah, so many.
So we have Roger Waters, who's coming to town in a few days. Very exciting. Wish I was going. I'm not. UBS, but this is not a drill tour. David Gilmour on guitar, Nick Mason on the drums, and the late Richard Wright on the keyboards. What else do we want to say about it? My favorites. Dylan Talks Movies. Why don't you talk about?
Oh yeah, so
Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, so for Dylan Talks Movies, that's my channel. I've been busy this whole summer, so I haven't done any recent uploads. My recent upload, I did a film review on Star Wars. You guys can check that link below. So you can check out it's called Dylan Talks Movies. I'll put a link to my channel. I'm planning to get back to it soon, so hopefully you guys will watch that. But Dark Side of the Moon. I think probably one of the not just one of the greatest, but arguably the greatest album in music history. It's one of those albums where you can listen to every song through it, or just random songs, and it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautifully well done what Pink Floyd has done, and it's one of the highest selling records of all time. Came out in 1973. Had a lot of great songs, Time, Great King in the Sky, Money, Brain Damage, Eclipse, Us and Them, Breathe. A lot of great iconic songs. And I have this man here helped turn me on to Pink Floyd, because, Pink Floyd has done a lot of iconic albums and songs, Animals, The Wall, Wish You Were Here, which was your first Pink Floyd
you
album.
And Sherry, shout out to my daughter. You guys got that for me for Christmas on vinyl. Another 180 gram vinyl release from the Pink Floyd people. By the way, we listened to this right before we did the review, and it's pristine. It's a gorgeous copy. It's incredible. And we have the CD in one of our cars, so we listen to it a lot. And the vinyl really comes to life. It really makes us feel special.
It makes us feel like two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year.
Right band, different album.
I know, I had to make a Wish You Were Here
But that was good.
I think a Wish You Were Here reference. But you know what? Listen,
I think more like the lunatic is on the grass.
But maybe listening to this album makes us feel comfortably numb. In a way.
Album as well. So let's talk a little about...
But hey, you! let's talk about this album.
Concept, right?
I can go on.
My favorite song is Us and Them. I just love the way it's composed and the separation and all the engineering. Alan Parsons did an incredible job. This was a concept album. It came after Metal. They actually did Obscured by Clouds, which was a soundtrack album. Interesting detail about Pink Floyd, doing some research, they had done a lot of soundtracks on albums. They'd worked on More. They had worked on Zabriskie Point with Antonioni, and they'd also worked with Barbette Schroeder on an album. So they were highly in demand as soundtrack people due to that. So this was a concept album. It really dealt with themes of mental health and the rigors of a band being on the road, right? One of the songs, I think On the Run, was recorded in an airport. Richard Wright evidently was afraid, the keyboardist was afraid of flying. Yeah. And of course, we have to mention the man on the dark side of the moon himself, who is no longer with the band, but a founding member, the famous Syd Barrett.
He's the one that you hear all those weird background noise and the person speaking throughout the album, that's him. And On the Run, if you guys forgot, someone that goes the one with the synthesizer.
It's very good. Did you actually work with Alan Parsons? Maybe you like.
I'm 20 years old. Okay, I couldn't have known the guy.
Next year will be the 50th anniversary of this album. And we're a year early, right? 50?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, next year. Oh my
29.
God.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I really like the year 1973 for music. I think music was propelled. If you look at almost all bands, when in '73 they were able to do things in the studio, and they were feeling their oats, for want of a better word, creatively. They were really able to write and record and mesh as a band. I think it's Wright or Mason, somebody, I forget which one, said. And one more tidbit about Pink Floyd, which is fairly famous, that Gilmour and Waters have famously feuded over the last couple of years about the name of the band, working together, rights, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, typical intra-band. But at this point in time, in '73, when they were coming into their own, they were at an all-time high. Do you want to talk about the material, how it was devised?
How was it devised?
How it was practiced, and you were mentioning about it was being played before they recorded it.
Oh yeah. So little trivia fact I just found out that that Pink Floyd fans got to listen to the band perform the entire album about more than a year before the album was released on vinyl or 8-track, cassette, whatever music platform that they listened to back in reel to reel, whatever music platform they listened to in the 70s. Like before it came out,
probably
they played those songs. Like
they had some cassettes, but in the early we had cassettes in the 60s.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
Cassettes, 8-track was starting to come up, but they might have been also on bootlegs. What they would do is they would go into a record plant, and some long-haired crazy hippie kid would flip the guy whatever $10 or $20, and he would put a rough recording of a tape and make 5,000 records or whatever, and the guy would go sell it like in front of the Rainbow Theatre or whatever. They played this in the Rainbow Theatre in England, which is a famous theatre, and of course toured it. It became multi-platinum, and as Dylan said, one of the highest grossing records of all time.
Yeah. And so I think it was like sometime in like early '72 for like a Pink Floyd concert. They literally played all the songs way before they ever were released.
Because they finished recording. Actually, we found it on my birthday, right? February 9th, 1973. I was 16 years old. And then it was released on March 1st, which I think is like an amazing time for the engineers. Parsons really must have known what he was doing to be able to get it into the can and get it to the pressing plant and get get it out at that point. Released on the Harvest label in England and the Capitol label in the U.S. Of course, as soon as it came out, Clive Davis, wanted everybody. Always talk about Clive Davis. He's one of my record heroes. He and Ahmet Ertegun and quite a few other people. The guy at Warner Brothers, who was the guy at Warner Brothers that signed the Dead. Can't think of his name right now, but I can see his face. Anyway, but there were a lot of big heroes in recording, and so they started to sell out everywhere, and I started to play stadiums very quickly. The Light Show was legendary. They were one of the first bands after the Fillmore East. They had a light show like the Joshua Light Show. So nice saxophone. A couple of additional musicians we want to add. Dick Parry did the saxophone solo on Us and Them and Money. Mm-hmm. And Claire Torrey, no relation to Dick Parry, did the vocal on The Great Gig in the Sky. She was a little underpaid. I was watching on that, but she did settle with them out of court and got her money later, which is a good thing. Of course, remember, the Floyd were not as successful prior to this as they were after, and especially with The Wall. But between this and The Wall came out 79, right?
Yeah, 79.
So this was 73 in that period, and they had, Wish You Were Here. I mean, they really were Wish You Were Here animals. Yeah. The Wall.
Can I say what my favorite song?
Please. What is your favorite song, Dylan?
So I feel like the majority favorite would be Money, which is an amazing song with iconic bass lines and rock history. I think my favorites would be Great Gig in the Sky.
Excellent song.
And or Brain Damage.
Yes, those would be my my two faves. Yeah. I think Brain Damage and Great Gig in the Sky. I love Brain Damage.
Us and Them is good. I also like Any Color You Like, because I feel like that's also probably the most underrated, least favorite song of the album. Because the keyboards and the techno sound that they use is very, very cool sounding. It's an album that has so many iconic, great songs. It's just it's hard to pick a favorite. It's like going to a restaurant and there's a menu of so many great foods and you had them all. And then he was which one's your favorite? And it's hard to pick. You like this one, you like that one. On certain days, you like something different. You never know.
True.
It's hard to tell these days.
So Speak to Me, Breathe in the Air, On the Run, Time, The Great Gig in the Sky, Money, Us and Them, Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, and Eclipse. Because it's a concept album and each track flows into the other except one of them doesn't, which is the one that Dylan knows the trivia.
So, because I had the CD, because most Pink Floyd albums with their songs, each one goes right into the other one just like that, with no breaks. But I found out there's a break in between the Great Gig in the Sky and Money, and then when I got the vinyl, I just realized it's because they have a break. It's because it was on side one that Great Gig in the Sky ended, and Money began on side 2.
So they probably had two different master tapes, or they had to cut the master tape there.
And symmetrical, it's five on each side. Five on side 1, 5 on side 2.
A little technical things. They're all, except for Mason, Gilmore, Wright, and Waters are all credited with the VCS3, which is a synthesizer we were looking up with. Of course, it's huge by our standards. They recorded on 16-track. They put out a quadraphonic of this. This was cutting edge. I mean, Parsons, Abbey Road, the synthesizers, the tape loops. It was really, really amazing. So, and it's released on Pink Floyd Records now. Pick up a copy if you don't have it. It's a gem. Yep. One of the highest selling albums, along with
one of the best albums ever made.
Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Those are the ones the guys in the stores say, fly off the shelves. Yeah.
And Brain Damage, has basically the title album song, because has the lyrics, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. And it's something similar, like, Wish We Here is like an obvious like title song for album, but also like Another Brick in the Wall. This has the wall in it from the wall. Some artists in general, like they don't have like title songs. Sometimes they do. From the title songs of the album, some they do and some they don't. And sometimes the albums are for this one, like the song is not what the album is called, but it has the title of the album in the song. Right?
See You on the Dark Side of the Moon, correct, which is nice. So it was like in movies when you hear, we were called Goodfellas, or The Godfather, make me an offer I can't refuse. So before we close up and we're running, let's talk a little about
perfect segue into film. Hello, so this is the epilogue version of our video. Perfect segue into Dad talking about film because Dark Side of the Moon is associated with film, specifically a certain iconic film that you might have heard or seen. So this urban legend is called Dark Side of the Rainbow, where basically you can synchronize Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, the whole album, in repeat, with the iconic 1939 family adventure adaptation Victor Fleming cinematic masterpiece, which is The Wizard of Oz. Now, this urban legend was discovered sometime in the 90s, and with the song playing with the film in the sequences, people found a lot of weird, strange coincidences and synchronizations. Like, for example, when Dorothy opens the door into the Land of Oz, and it's in full Technicolor, one of the beautiful, best visually transitions in cinema. If you play from the beginning, from the album, that's when Money comes on. And when the witch arrives in Munchkinland, Us and Them is playing, and then it goes to the witch and you hear black, 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 and then it switches back to Dorothy and blue, blue, because the witch is wearing black, Dorothy's wearing blue. And there's also things about Breathe, I think, with the heartbeat representing the Tin Man. Also the Great Gig in the Sky playing with the tornado, the Twister scene. Also like the scene about Eclipse playing near the end. Like, there's a lot of different synchronizations that people have found out. Like, if you go on YouTube right now and you can look it up, like, you can actually watch the movie with the Dark Side of the Moon playing, and you look in the comment section, people have found like many synchronizations. It's like every second. It's pretty crazy.
And I say something, it's
Go ahead.
funny, it makes me think of when in the 60s they had the rumor about Paul is dead, and they put all these clues on all the Beatles albums. Now, what do we know about the Beatles and Pink Floyd? They both recorded at Abbey Road. George Martin had influence there. What do we also both know about? They were both pioneers in film. As I mentioned in the review, Floyd had done a lot of soundtracks. The Beatles were already, by this point, veterans in the entertainment industry. They were financing Monty Python. These guys were all big.
That's right.
Monty Python fans.
Yeah, that's right. The money from the Dark Side of the Moon helped finance Monty Python, The Holy Grail, which Pink Floyd were big fans of the Flying Circus show.
And so was George Harrison. So the whole Dark Side of the Rainbow, they were very accomplished soundtrackers. They'd worked on 3 movies. Maybe there is something to that. Maybe they had a little tongue-in-cheek.
And
they've denied it.
They didn't. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between the soundtrack and the film.
But it's fun.
Yeah, Pink Floyd, David Gilmour, Roger Waters, they all turned out. They said they found out about it. They said that's not true. Like that wasn't their intention at all. But it's not the first time Pink Floyd was used to synchronize a film. People have synchronized Echoes, the 23 minute song from Metal, which came
Great
out 2
song.
years before Dark Side, if you can synchronize that whole song, that whole 20-minute orchestral, like
there's some
song,
lyrics in it, but it's very it's a lot.
synchronized with Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite sequence from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, my favorite.
And that was just for a song, though, a long song.
Right.
But people also did synchronization with The Wall, with the Pixar film WALL-E, and they actually called it Another Brick in the Wall-E.
Cute.
And they actually did synchronizations with that album and that film. So it's pretty crazy what people can like discover, like just listening to if you could just watch any film that you love or any album you love, and just if you could just listen to the whole album while watching the film with the album on repeat, you might find out some strange coincidences. And you know what's crazy? Someone on the podcast said that they watched Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, the comedy film with Kevin James. They watch it year round, and someone said that they did it with Dark Side of the Moon. Watch the film while listening to Dark Side of the Moon, and they said, and I quote, kind of paraphrasing, but they said something about it was a religious experience, and they said they found so many synchronizations and coincidences with that film as well. So it's pretty crazy the kind of urban legends and weird conspiracies that this album has generated into this huge culture.
One more quick story. I never seen Pink Floyd live, but I remember in the 70s us going to the planetarium, and they would do light shows. Many of you out there may remember those, and they played Pink Floyd, a lot of Pink Floyd for that. So that was fun. So next week we're going to do I have a band in mind that I mentioned before. It was the largest selling bluegrass album to date because it starred on banjo, the lead guitarist of a very famous band when it came out again in 1973. 1973 seems to be a very popular year for albums. Yeah. So we'll feature that. We'll be down to the O's. We're wrapping up the alphabet, and thank you very much. Dylan Likes Movies. Please check him out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Check him out on YouTube.
Yeah, Instagram it's Dylan Daily Rocks, and YouTube it's Dylan Talks Movies. And
Dylan Talks Movies. And
just the vinyl one more time. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Doodah Dave's record reviews. This is so much fun. Seeing my dad. Do record, because I told him he should do YouTube videos, and look where he is now, like months in. He's doing like reviewing the records he loves, and I'm proud of him. I'm happy to support him.
Thank you.
And he supports me. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Doodah Dave's Records Reviews. Yes. Please. All right. If you don't, I will find you. I'm just kidding. I don't have that power.
Like,
I wish I did,
comment,
but I don't.
If you
but seriously, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more content from Dad. Go subscribe to me. Dylan Talks Movies. I should get back to the channel very soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Go follow me. Go follow him on Instagram. It's Doodah Dave. Follow me on Instagram at Dylan Daily Rocks. We'll put links into the description below. If you haven't listened to Dark Side of the Moon yet, what are you doing with your life? Please listen to this freaking amazing music of history, art. It's art. It's literally art. It's like the 16th chapel of music. It's freaking art. All right. And also comment below.
Some good stuff.
Comment below. What is your favorite song from Dark Side of the Moon? Comment down in the section below and tell us why it's your favorite. But yeah,
great idea.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I had a great time.
Thank you. See you next week.
Adios.